Matt from Avid here, and I've got a SynthCell quick tip for you on how to make your own kick drums. Check it out. So here we are looking at SynthCell, and the first thing you notice, if you hit a key, that's not a kick drum. So how do we get kick drums? First step, let's turn down the saw, and let's turn up the triangle all the way. Rounder, better. Now let's pitch it down 24 semitones, that's 2 octaves. Closer, it's low, it doesn't sound like a kick. How do we make it kicky? Well, the first thing we're gonna do, let's change the envelope. So right now, I have it set just the default settings, so the minute I let go of my kick, the sound's gonna stop. So let's extend the release a bit. Let's try 300 milliseconds. Maybe even a little bit longer, let's try 400. All right, now let's take our filter and bring it down, and we just use filter 1. Right about there, so that's a nice sine wave type thing. And we can leave the rest on. We don't need this filter. We're not going to use it at all. Next step, now this is the trick. This is how we get the kick drum. We're gonna use our modulation envelope, and we're gonna assign that to the pitch of our oscillator, and it's gonna create a pitch drop, and that's really gonna be the integral sound of this kick drum. So let's do that. So first, I'm gonna set my mode to be exponential attack decay, because that means the curve of the kick drum itself, the pitch drop, is gonna look like that as opposed to a linear curve. And we want the exponential curve because it's gonna give us more punch. So let's drop the decay. Let's make it pretty quick. Let's start with, say, 100 milliseconds. And then in our mod matrix, we're gonna say mod env, or mod envelope, or envelope, what have you. Destination is gonna be tune. And let's tune it up all the way. So you start to hear a little bit more of attack. We're just gonna double that same setting a few times. And this time, by doing this, it's multiplying the amount of the modulation envelope that we're sending to the tuning. Let's do it one more. And now, it sounds like this. That's starting to sound a lot like a kick drum, isn't it? We can add a little bit of noise, and the noise is gonna give us just a touch of hair to it. You can hear it in there, but how are we gonna be able to access that noise? That's the question, right? Well, now we're gonna assign the filter envelope to the noise. So we're just gonna enable the envelope here, and we're gonna set our decay nice and short, and that's gonna allow some of that noise through. I like it right about there. And to be honest, that's basically it. We can affect the amplitude envelope a little bit. Let's just give it a slight amount of attack so we don't have a click. And maybe let's bring down the sustain just a touch. And the decay, maybe like make that a little bit quicker. And if we want, we can make this a nice long release. If we did that, it would be kind of like an 808. And let's also change our mode to be retrigger, so it's monophonic. But we're not doing an 808 per se. Let's just bring that release back down. And that's basically it. So if we add some additional plugins to it, and I'm just using the stock Avid plugins, let's add a EQ3. Looks like this. With that enabled, without it, just cleans it up a bit, gives it a little more attack. Let's add the regular compressor. Just gives us a little bit more attack still, boosts the body a bit. And then I'm going to add just one of these Avid Pultecs. Gives us a little bit more bite in the top end and a little more sub. And then lastly, I'm gonna add this limiter, the Maxim, and that's just gonna crunch everything together and make it nice and big. Big difference, right? Without it, with it. Sounds great. So now if we just listen to this, say I just created a 4x4 pattern, that's a kick drum. We could even make the kicks a little bit longer, just drag out the notes. And now if I add a clap and a hi-hat to it, we have a nice loop, but we made the kick ourselves, and now we could play it in any key that we want. You can customize it. It's a lot more fun to make your own kicks than using a sample, and samples are great too, but having the ability to make your own just allows for endless opportunities of creativity. So check it out now with the loop. And that's how you make a kick drum using only SynthCell.